So, considering we're not going to get a flat answer out of you, my next one. This is actually more open. What makes a good villain? Like either in a book or in a film. What makes a good villain?
They have to have 3 arms and move town to town.
They map out your life like the Truman Show.
Who's it? It's the Traveller. Lonely, never had a wife.
His arch enemies, the same guy that's been in the house behind you.
Now you see the fucking funny side of it. You're such a dickhead.
He wish he could stop him, but he can't leave his house.
Yeah, because I made the joke. That's why it's funny.
You're such a piece of shit.
But Joe, have you seen
You just skip my point.
No. This is really relevant. Have you seen Glass?
No.
Wait, is it Mr. Glass? Is it the?
No, the film's just called Glass, but yeah, he's called Mr. The guy's called Mr. Glass in it.
Is that the Shyamalan?
Yeah.
Shyamalan?
Yeah. And Bruce Willis is, and they're complete opposites of each other. So he's really strong and he can't break his bones, and Mr. Glass.
I thought he was a character in the film.
There's 3 films.
Oh,
there was Unbreakable, which was Bruce
Quality
Willis
film.
and Mr. Glass.
I haven't seen these.
Unbreakable's really
Well, mate, it was really weird
it's
because they had Unbreakable, then they had Split, which was James McAvoy.
Glass is the last one.
Yeah, so no one knew.
So I haven't seen Glass yet, but
okay.
I do know the guy from the Unbreakable one.
Yeah, so it was because Unbreakable was 99 or 2000. Then only Split in like 2015. No one knew they were related until they announced Glass, and it's like, wait, hold on a second. All 3 of these films they're not. No one knew they were even a little bit alike.
What a twist!
But they're meant to be like realistic kind of ideas of superheroes. Like,
yeah.
Like they're not ridiculous, but like one of them's really fragile. One of them
have you seen
can't break any bones.
No, I've not seen it yet.
So without giving too much,
19 years later.
The idea is like, or like in the film when you see it, the guy's got the idea, or someone else is trying to convince him that he's unbreakable and he can't be killed. And at the same time, he's like, well, maybe I've just had lucky scrapes and accidents, and maybe things have just gone my way. It's not like really obvious, like a piano falls on his head and he walks off. It's like, so it's that weird level.
Like he's never had a cold or stuff like that. For example.
Never had a broken bone and stuff like that. So it's all stuff that's like, but that could all just be coincidence.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm like unkillable.
I've had a broken bone.
You're not.
Huh. Have you had a cold?
I haven't had it.
Oh, shame you've had a cold. You're not a superhero.
Oh shit! I was about to jump out the window.
Which town?
Yes, go on. So,
Sorry,
what makes a good villain? Should we talk about Glass?
No, that's just because we were just fucking battering about the travelling bit, but complete opposite.
Oh yeah, because he moves, he like breaks a bone every 2 seconds
Oh.
for the rest of his life, and he's not physically responsible. So
you literally can't touch
Why
him.
did you choose
He
that?
just snaps in half. That's his superpower, by the way.
Should just stay at home.
His superpower in that instance
He's
is
super smart.
intelligent. Yeah.
Right.
super smart.
Super smart, but it always comes with like they all come with like a downside. So Split is obviously they've got the beast. He's got like 20 different personalities that he can't really control properly.
I meant to watch it. Somebody told me it's really good.
3 of them.
Doesn't he kidnap someone or something like that?
Yeah,
That's
he
what
kidnaps
it's
3
about.
girls. Yeah, but he has to stay in his hometown.
What are they from?
Alright, so what makes a good villain either in a film or in a book? Because I was looking at stuff the other day because I watched one of the Star Wars ones again. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I struggle with these latest ones because I think Kylo Ren or whatever, what's Adam Driver? That's the guy that plays him.
I've
Kylo
seen
Ren,
the latest ones.
I think he does a good job, but I think the original Darth Vader is this like he doesn't really say that much, but he looks like a powerful figure. He comes in, doesn't really talk, but he just kills anyone who gets in his way.
He's like iconic almost.
Yeah,
he's a symbol. Yeah.
But there's like a fear factor of him when he comes through.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like you really get that the same way in latest films.
But it was the same with Darth Maul. Darth Maul became like the face of like those section of
prequels.
The prequels. And although they weren't received well, he was received quite well.
Yeah.
Which is he was like considered a good villain, I suppose.
But in the same way, he comes out and he doesn't really say that much, and he looks visibly different from everyone else. Do you know what I mean? So I was thinking, what makes a good villain? Because you've got someone like that, or you've got
The Riddler.
no.
Snoke.
I was trying to use.
I'm never here nor there. I move town every week. Who am I?
I can't pick between big titties and small titties. Who am I?
Job, get out of here.
Job, get out of my.
Yeah, I might as well just leave.
3 in the
now.
morning, Job. I'm trying to sleep.
Isn't he one of your favourite Batman villains?
Yeah. The Riddler.
Do you dress up like the Riddler at home? I could see you running around the
He had a
house.
Riddler
I've got a
t-shirt
Riddler
for years.
t-shirt.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I do remember. But that's why I always associate the Riddler with you.
Mate, I'm done.
Or
But yeah,
Edward Nigma.
Cooked, mate.
on the other side of the spectrum, you got someone like Thanos, who is like he's iconic and all the rest of it, but his logic is completely different. Because you've got like Darth Vader, who just goes in, quite silent, says what he needs to, kills whoever. Thanos is like, you're all wasting, you know, the
Yes, you
resources.
could-
Like it's a you can agree with Thanos. Like when he does the snap, you're like, yeah, it's really bad, but at the same time, you would solve a lot of problems if you did
you've
it.
got like categories of villains. You've got the people that have like that have a different sense of moral. Or whatever.
Yeah.
It's opposing to the heroes. You've got the Overlord style one.
Yeah.
And you've got like the super fucking strong, just wants to destroy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a
who's-
lot of it comes down to the.
I think the best stories
writing of the
are the ones where
characters.
they have conflicting morals.
Yeah.
They make for the best stories. I think. Like, Thanos was a good, like, he was the Overlord and the sort of morals type. So
He had a lot of
was
hype built. I mean,
Do you
you
know
watch those films for 15
Yeah,
odd
have
years.
you all
stop
seen
building up to
the
it.
last one?
Yeah.
No.
Mate, do you know what? You haven't. Fuck you.
You've had enough
You know,
time.
You had enough
You've
time.
had enough
It's
time.
been in the cinema twice. Do you know what I hated about it? If you watch like from in Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that, or like in the previous ones, Thanos was always super strong, like really good in combat. But in the last one, so it's a different Thanos, isn't it? It's like one that's come from the, they make him so unbelievably strong compared to the previous version of him that he can like withstand like being hit by Thor's hammer and like he can break the shield and shit. Like they really took him to like for the sake of continuality in the story, they took him way too high off the fucking scale.
I took it as
last
him
one.
fighting all out.
Well, but even if it's him fighting all that, the issue that I have with it is like you kind of have to when
At
you've
what
got.
point
Like,
is he a god?
have you seen that fucking meme of like they see that massive ship coming in
Oh,
and
this
they're
where
like,
she comes and just.
they're like, oh, how do we deal with it? Yeah, and then Captain Marvel just goes head first, and it's just a picture of Ralph Wiggum just jumping head first through a window. It's like Captain Marvel. But like when you've got someone like her, you have to up everything else. Do you know what I mean?
I think she was a mistake.
I
think she was a massive
Like,
mistake.
I like the character and I actually like the film that she was in that, but I think
Yeah.
she,
Do you know
as
what? She did-
within that universe, is just way
She
too
didn't
fucking
need.
strong.
She didn't
Yeah.
actually need. The thing is, they didn't know how much because they'd already were very far into the filming of Endgame when they released Captain Marvel, so they didn't know how much of a success she'd be. So they didn't know how
Really?
much to put her in Endgame. So they really sort of tried to tailor their editing.
They could
towards
have-
her being
She
half in
fucks
it.
up the story
So-
though.
She fucks up the story massively.
Because she's
She
been in
didn't need her
space for
standalone
40 years,
film either.
right?
Yeah.
She didn't need a standalone film.
But doesn't she go out in space at 1980? Sorry, I'm going to really fucking nerd
in the
out on this.
90s.
Yeah, so she's been up there. Thanos has been going around killing planets for 30 years.
Yeah,
She-
but
she hasn't
planets.
done.
Yeah.
She hasn't done anything about
She
it.
probably could have made a very good effort to
And then
take
she
him down
f-
the solo.
And then she
Yeah.
flies in, blows his ship up in one shot.
Yeah.
Why didn't she do that 30
Bear in
years ago?
mind, her power comes from the Tesseract, which is the blue one, right? Because she gets it from that
Yeah,
space
yeah.
engine. Like, doesn't Loki have the Tesseract like as well
In
as
his start,
as well,
but
as well
two,
as-
yeah, he's got two.
and he
Yeah.
still can't do fuck all. But she just.
Yeah, but that's 'cause he spends the whole time, like-
she's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like,
Just being a sneaky arsehole.
yeah, the
Yeah, but this is
continuation of the
Loki,
power
like-
scan here is really off. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like Thanos has 3 of the stones, doesn't he? At the beginning of the not Avengers, not Endgame? What's the one before that?
Infinity War.
Infinity War. He has 3 of them, or
Yeah.
2 of them, and Hulk comes in and starts. There's a good fight between them.
Yeah.
But no, he like
Yeah, that's the problem when
She
you have
gets
things
one and
like
she's
that's
like-
that messes up villains sometimes when you've got these like powerful objects and they just change the power of them. Like
Yeah.
Dragon
fucking-
Ball loves doing.
yeah, he's got 5 of
Fuck
them
me.
and he's like 4's actually fucking fighting him and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
It's-
like the next film he's got 1 and he's like blowing people up left, right, and centre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so in
Yeah.
at the end of Endgame, he has none. He has none of the stones, does he? He's just regular Thanos
Yeah.
with his weapons.
When he's
But
fighting,
when
no, he
they,
doesn't.
when they
'cause they're
go
all
to
in
find
there.
old Thanos, the one that did the click, Thor just they run up on him and Thor just goes wham, just kills him
Yeah,
one
but
hit.
they
Yeah.
gank the
But
shit out of him,
he's
don't they?
no stone
Yeah.
Thanos. Like,
Yeah,
why can
yeah,
he
yeah.
not give them another good fight like the old Thanos did?
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
it's
I
just
thought that's
so
because they
obvious.
rush him and they literally he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, but I was going to say, but like, even in that situation, because he's like, he was happy.
Well, no, John,
He was
he's
content
really
because-
weak as well, isn't
I was going
Yeah,
to say,
it's
like,
supposed to be, yeah.
even if you say, like, he'd done his job. He didn't care. He always said,
Yeah.
like, he dn't care if he lived
I
or
think he
died.
was waiting for it.
Yeah, he just wanted to finish what he was always going to do.
Started,
Yeah. But the problem that you've got with the other Thanos that then came in is he's like, yeah, I know what you mean. It's just, it's annoying.
I liked Endgame, but I didn't like the fucking time traveling shit. I think
Time traveling routes.
I know-
Do you know what it is?
I know they did it because this is how they were going to do it, but
it makes storylines convoluted, and it gives
it
them
opens so many plot holes.
so many ways out.
It gives them easy retcons.
Yeah.
So they can just go, oh yeah, but this happened, you didn't see it, so we can just make a backstory about it. Like 100%, they're gonna make a fucking film about like Captain America because he goes and lives the rest of his life, doesn't he? 100% they're gonna make another
Just
film.
smashing his partner from back in the
Stop filming, you guys. We need the money.
It was really cool seeing them go back to the first Avengers and like being back in the first Avengers.
Yeah.
That was
They did
awesome.
really well,
but
yeah.
it just opens up so many plot holes.
Yeah.
Really
To me,
does,
I was a little bit in the back of my mind. I was like,
Retcon
oh, I really hope they don't go with time travel, and they did.
And
Yeah.
anyone else think Ant-Man's just a bit of a shit superhero? But
I actually
really
like
like
it.
So why
Right,
didn't he go
yeah.
up Thanos' butthole?
Because that would just be wrong on so many levels.
big bad
So let 4 billion people die.
Yeah.
it's
Go on, then, up the butt.
That's the theory.
No.
That's the theory that the internet came up with. by the
Yeah.
way. Oh, what logical way could the Avengers beat Thanos? Pat Ant-Man up his bum. But they actually had whole stories like written out how it could be plausible. It's like, guys, for fuck's sake.
I like to
Stop,
think
man.
the press thing at the end, they had time travel on one wall and just butthole on the other wall. We've got to pick one guy.
They had so many pros for butthole. They're like, no, we can't. Do the time travel thing. People would accept that.
I kind of expected them to drop it as a line in the thing, like even just Ant-Man being like, I think I found a way to defeat him, but it's pretty great. Do you know what I mean? And then
they
just
make a
like,
joke and
They should have
move
done
on.
that, actually. It would have been funny.
I wasn't keen on the time travel. It was a really good film.
It was a
So-
good film.
so-
I enjoyed it.
do you think what makes a good villain is like essentially his counterpart, the person that he's up against? Because you've got like L.
No,
I
no.
don't like those. I hate
That
because-
Death Note does.
Who was it?
Yeah.
Was it
Those two
DC?
playing off against each other is what makes it.
That's
Yeah.
L and Death Note. That's fuck.
Did the second episode where he thinks he's got him and then he turns around and he's on TV. He's like, actually, this is and that.
Yeah,
From
yeah,
that point,
I've
I was
now
like,
figured
fuck, I'm
everything
hooked.
out.
Yeah.
That's a mental game.
But in my head, I was like, oh, how's he ever going to find him? And then they were like, oh, I know you're in Japan in this city. Within
Yeah.
like, what,
And-
10
and-
minutes. I was like, fuck.
And some of the
Yeah.
stuff they do, like when he that
Death Note
scene,
pissed me off majorly.
wow, it's
Why?
such a good
Death Note's
like,
brilliant.
No,
yeah.
the first half of Death Note is amazing.
Oh,
to be
Second
fair,
half,
the second half is
But
boom.
yeah, but that's not
Done.
bad. It's not bad.
It's
just
just
the first half
lacking,
is so
yeah.
good.
But it's even the first half of the second season's good, and then it
And then
trails off.
It does get a bit
fucking,
weird, sort of.
End comes along.
The
and
end's
gives up.
brilliant. No, the end's brilliant. Like,
I didn't.
I like the.
I like how ridiculous and over dramatic it was. It was such a good fall from grace for the.
Yeah.
It's
No.
It's
great.
about
It's
8
a great fall
episodes
from
near
I
the
would
end.
put-
when-
Yeah,
I
great
would
fall
have,
from grace. I'll give you
I
that.
think that's a good finish because at the end of it, you're like, what the fuck? Because you kind of like he becomes the protagonist even though he's the murderer. Like he's
Yeah.
the guy that you're like you don't want him to get caught. As you're
Yeah,
watching.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he gets caught and he panics, he doesn't know what to do. And it's almost a realistic like.
I actually like the ending. Yeah, I think
I-
that's
The
good.
ending was
I-
appropriate. Yeah, it was
I
good.
Yeah,
I
I just
thought
hate near.
there was something-
near
Yeah.
N.
Yeah,
Something,
it's- no,
something
near or
just
end?
short of it.
It's near, isn't it? That's the actual
Yeah,
name.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
near.
There was something just short of the actual ending though, where something happens, and I thought it would have been a really cool one for him to go.
Matsuno, you idiot! Matsuno, were you screaming Matsuno? Because Matsuno's the joke
That's right,
character,
yeah.
isn't he?
He shoots him, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Matsuno, you. Oh, sorry, that's just such a good line.
So essentially, if that's the theory, then we've come up with of like
I
you've got
like
your
it, but
overlords,
again,
you've got your whatever.
That's a counterpart. But someone online kind of ripped into DC for doing this. DC love creating their like individual series and like or the individual like the standalone superhero films, and their villain is always just an evil version of them.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like that's
Yeah.
all DC seem to do.
yeah.
So that they were like, this is not good. And I think someone said they do it in Marvel as well. And there's like, this isn't good superhero stuff.
No,
It's
you
all
can
the same.
say-
They just have an evil.
I used to
person
make this joke with Cool all the time that they fall into a coma and wake up and there's an evil version of them somewhere and it's
Yeah.
2 hours of that. Just
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they
the
fight
newer
and then they
Marvel.
win.
I think Marvel went for a bit of a change because they got like doing that formula and then their new films are more funnier. They went
Yeah.
a
a
more
lot of
comedic
comedy,
route and
yeah, they
it's
have.
so much better.
Yeah,
There is-
definitely.
'cause it
Even if you've got
makes
this,
it so much more relatable when you have the jokes in there.
yeah, it's just like they take too seriously. Well, this Civil War, that film fucking sucks.
Well, that's
I think that film is so shit.
I really like the Thor films. I really like the.
I
the
think
new
I-
one's
I-
brilliant. The
I
Ragnarok.
don't know. I don't think the full ones are that great. Ragnarok was a bit.
The second one is
Mate,
garbage. Dark World.
Mate, Ragnarok's
Ragnarok's
the third. Mate, Ragnarok's
awesome.
fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Dark World is shit.
I did say he was autistic.
Thor is character. I love.
Lucky it's empty.
He says as he drops his tip.
Did say you were
Is that-
autistic.
I like the fact that they had the whole backstory with,
Perfectly
with,
balanced.
with the Hulk, and it kind of explains more as it goes into Infinity War and that.
Yeah.
That was good, but the actual story of him being on a different planet and like getting
It was
stuck
weird,
there,
but
and, like, bro, your god just beat some people up and just fucking fly away with you, hammer.
Yeah, but I liked it.
I thought
That
it was,
for me, that was the first one that they did like the comedic purposes and they really changed things up.
Piss off,
'Cause
Ghost.
What really fucked me off about the Endgame bit is one of the most interesting story bits by far is Hulk's here. Like, what's his name? Banner's there, Hulk's angry. Banner's there, Hulk's angry, and they keep pulling him out every time they need something big destroyed. Get Hulk in. Every single time it's the same thing. Then you get that. Then you get the first part of it.
Limp dick with Hulk, and he can't summon.
Yeah, and he can't summon him anymore. And you're like, oh shit! Like, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna be able to hold it off? Whatever. And you're thinking, yeah, I'm really curious about what's gonna happen. Bang, Endgame. Yeah, he's just chilling in a fucking diner eating some food,
Got
and
it sorted.
he's both at the same time.
Taking selfies.
Yeah, it's like that. That would have been
That'd be
really
another film,
interesting. Yeah, but it would have been.
Yeah, but it will be a film for them.
Yeah,
They could have done that instead of
they could have.
Marvel.
Has anyone seen the new Spider-Man, by the way?
Yeah,
it's really good.
No.
Yeah, it was really decent.
No,
It's actually brilliant. It's really, really good.
Which one? The Far From Home
I'm
or
gonna
the
watch
other
it.
one?
Far
Far
From
From
Home.
Yeah, that's the
Or-
new
Or
one.
the
Not
animated one? Or
Oh, that's really good as well.
I haven't seen that, but-
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
That's really sick actually.
I wasn't expecting a lot from this Far From Home. I thought they were just going
It
to.
was surprisingly decent, wasn't
I
it?
thought it was really good. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
Spider-Man's probably my favourite like Marvel superhero.
Yeah,
I think he's just
4 actually. I think 4's. You don't know the film though.
He's an awesome character, but in terms of like, I grew up more knowing Spider-Man. I had Spider-Man games and stuff like that, and I
Yeah,
think,
that's
like,
fair.
I knew more about his backstory because there's been so many films prior.
You should sleep in a web.
Yeah, plus I do that. Just lay on my computer screen with the internet running.
Waiting for flies that I'm allergic to.
Developed a new allergy. Allergy man. What's wrong
superpower?
with you today? I need new, more powerful nasal
It's like
spray.
Hulk, but it just goes big like red.
What are you? I'm immune to nasal sprays. Oh, you've written them down. So what is the perfect villain?
What is the perfect villain? Perfect villain.
I think it comes with the story.
they have to have a good backstory.
It has to be good. No, I reckon, like you said, not a polar opposite, but there has to be like a chess game and morale's involved. I think that it doesn't have to be superpowers and shit.
Well,
It
yeah,
has to
but
be a good chess game.
where would
It
you
has to
drop Darth Vader into that? Because there was an element of that morality with the good and the
It
dark
comes down to
side.
his personality.
yeah, but I
like
don't-
his-
but
He was
I think
kind of
that's
the
more an
opposite of
overlord
Luke.
situation because he just wanted to rule everything, didn't he?
No, Emperor
but
He's-
Palpatine-
Palpatine.
they make him look bad.
Palpatine wants to rule everything.
Palpatine
Yeah, Palpatine wanted to ruin everything. He eventually wanted to take over, but he wanted to do it with his son because he thought Luke would turn to the dark side. Then they could do it together, and then he doesn't. And then Palpatine goes for Luke, and then he picks up Palpatine and launches him off the edge. You son of a bitch! That's my son. Frozen.
And gets electrocuted while he's doing it as well.
Yeah.
That's what kills him.
But I think he's
Well,
I
that
think
and
he's
his hand.
really iconic, and I think there's
Yeah,
a few
yeah,
characters like that I love as villains, like No Country for Old Men. Do you know the hitman that goes around?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He doesn't really say Anthony Bardem.
yeah.
So, I think it's him. He doesn't really say much, but he's got a really interesting look. He's got that cattle prod thing that he uses to kill people, and he just looks vicious. He just doesn't really say anything. Walks up, just kills the person,
That's
and
what we should give
that's
top
it.
these cat prods.
Yeah,
That's what makes him interesting, though. They've got that sort of.
but that's what I mean.
persona to him.
So I do like the people like that, but then I think there's something about villains that you can identify with, that you look at and you think,
I think the
I
Joker's a really,
kind of agree with
I
that.
think the Joker, especially in the Dark Knight trilogy, that he's a perfect example because he's not really got superpowers, but because he plays that chess game and he's such a good character,
Yeah.
and because he's a bit of a nutcase, they play that chess game and he does all
But you want to see what's going to happen. That's why you're intrigued by them.
You know, if he came to a fight, Batman's just going to kick his ass.
Yeah.
That was always how it was.
But you know, he's always got plans in the back of his
yeah.
head. He's always
that,
got
that,
that.
that made a really good villain. Plus,
Yeah, I
obviously,
suppose the chess game again.
yeah, it's a chess game. Yeah,
Yeah, and there was that bit as well where he sees Two-Face in the hospital bed, and then he's talking to him, and then he just puts the gun in his hand, and he's like, "Look, I'm an agent of chaos," and he just holds it up to his head, and it's like, "Oh shit, yeah." He at least, I think that's for me. That's it. It's the consistency. Like he's mental, and he's clearly mental, but he's got a lot of crazy plans. But he is mental, and then he sees Two-Face. Two-Face wants to kill him, and he literally puts a gun in Two-Face's hands, like. Well, then you can kill
There's
him.
no like shitty plot holes either. Like I hate when you watch for 2 hours in and then the villain does something really weird. Like, doesn't use their fucking superpower.
Yeah, it's like they get last minute.
Doesn't send Ant-Man up
What
his
was it? I
butt.
was watching. Have you seen the new Aladdin? I know it's Aladdin.
No.
And I know
You know that time when Aladdin used his laser beam?
Jafar
Tell
gets
this Jafar.
Jafar gets super powerful. He wishes to be like a super powerful
genie.
sorcerer.
Yeah.
And he then just lets Aladdin like do what he fucking wants.
Really?
Like, He fights him and he teleports him away at first, and some fucking the magic carpet brings him back or some shit.
And
then instead of just teleporting him away or blowing him up or whatever, he just leaves him and then loses.
He
And I was like,
teleports him to like somewhere
why
really
did you
cold,
not-
doesn't he? Like,
Yeah.
in like a snowstorm.
but then the thing gets him and brings him back.
the
So I'm
carpet.
like, yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
like,
because he teleports the carpet with him, does he not?
yeah, something stupid like that.
So let's send him nowhere.
Here's
You're
an-
going to be stuck here forever.
No, in
Did
the
you
new
get me
one-
fine carpet?
Actually, it's really in the new one. The carpet goes and gets him, and brings him back, and it's like 5 minutes. And I'm like, can you send him halfway around the world?
Bro, they're clearly somewhere in the Middle East. And he sends him to like Antarctica. He's like, nah, 5 minute ride.
But rather than like,
The G-force would like suck his face. There's a bit of a lad where he's like,
somebody's got a fucking like,
his hair's all gone.
are you Aladdin? Yeah, but like,
Mate,
rather than just
you're the
blow him
girl.
up, like, or send him back, they just Jafar just goes, fuck. Well, I tried that. It didn't work. I better just
Yeah.
lose.
Oh no, he's got a sword. He's got like a scythe. He's just like, what am I going to do now?
Does
But it just frustrates me because I'm like, I know it's Aladdin. They've got a fucking happy story. and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that
Does
shit, but,
Jafar
like,
still turn into a genie or?
Yeah,
that's how
yeah,
he
he does.
loses.
The story basically plays out the
It's
same.
exactly
No,
the fucking
cool.
same.
There's a couple of small differences.
He wishes to be a genie, then he can't do anything because he's got to have a master.
That pretty much makes sense.
Sorry, spoilers for the new Aladdin and the old Aladdin.
That new Aladdin film that just came out.
But no, I'm just like, it's such a big plot hole that you're all powerful and then you're like, fuck it.
Yeah,
I watched 2 hours of this shit.
A lot of shit does that. Though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I find
Mate,
really
you
disappointing.
know the girl in that. I think she's the same age. She's 26, 27. She
Yeah.
went to Loughton.
Did you?
Yeah, so she would have been like the year below Jay. She actually went to like the same school as Jay.
Oh, really?
I don't think he has any idea, but someone that went there said, "Oh yeah, they know that she was in year below me at school."
That's mad.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
goes in it. Yeah.
But yeah, because I was thinking about it the other day, and I was thinking there's certain ones like the Blade Runner. I was
Yeah, because
Family
that's
were
Marvel,
watching
isn't
that
it?
the other
And,
day.
people forget that that's a Marvel.
That's
Blade
They announced the new
Yeah.
film, didn't they?
yeah.
They said that was because Marvel were really struggling to catch a market, and they were thinking of stopping investing in it because in the 80s and 90s comic books were dying off because they'd become too saturated.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's funny because I watched a documentary about this recently, and then Blade Runner, like where they were going to make it again. They were going to make it like they'd made a lot of their previous superhero films. They only made a few, but they were cartoony.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
There's like, nah, fuck it, make him super aggressive, put it in 18. And that series was like the platform for Marvel to then make more superhero films because it made so much money.
Well, that film, like, there's a point with the villain where he's basically talking about, because obviously he's a robot, and he's basically talking about what life is and like justified
Is he
and
a
whatever.
robot?
Yeah, he's a replicant.
Replicant, that's the
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
Sorry.
I thought he was like half vampire, isn't he? I thought that was
What,
in
Blade Runner?
You're talking about Blades, not
I'm
Blade
talking
Runner.
about Blade, yeah.
You said Blade.
Well, I've never seen Blade Runner. I was thinking
You
Blade.
fucking
That's what I said.
This is Blade Runner.
yeah, the main character's black and he's so vampire.
I've never seen Blade Runner. Why are we talking about Blade Runner?
Wait. I heard Blade Runner and then heard Marvel. I was like,
John, fucking mate, that's what I was thinking. I was like, he's a robot, and he's like, no, he's a vampire. I was like,
John knew the whole time, didn't correct me. He just let me run.
because I thought you meant Blade. But then
I was
you
going to
said
say,
Blade Runner.
I didn't
then
know.
it's
I didn't know Blade
wait a
Runner was
minute.
Marvel.
I meant Blade. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Wesley
Not Blade
Snipes
Runner.
Blade, like.
Huh?
Wesley Snipes Blade.
Wesley Snipes Blade. Yeah, that's
Fine.
what I was thinking of.
I
Yeah.
think that is a great film, but that's not what I was going for at all.
We were talking about Blade Runner, which is
Yeah.
It's
one
like-
of my favourite
Wait a minute,
films.
sounds gets wrong. This sounds plays out.
Right, he can't make a decision. He can't make a decision between the two.
It's not my opinion. No, this is a matter of fact.
But when it comes to Blade Runner, that's when that's where I draw the line,
No, I'm not-
If
I'm
Blade
not-
Runner had three
I know
titties.
about Blade Runner. I've not seen it.
because that's my favourite film.
Blade Runner?
Mm.
Really, ever?
Ever.
Blade Runner is
It's an
sick.
amazing
How
film.
old is Blade
What
Runner?
did you think about the new
Oh,
one
yeah, man.
compared to the old one? Which did you prefer? Oh shit, I put him in a
The
conundrum.
new one.
The new one, that was
Mm.
quick.
That's unusual, yeah.
If the new one had big titties,
But that's a matter of opinion, Job. You can't make a decision like that. You've got the old one here and the new one here. Who are you going to
How's the old one going to
Yeah.
feel?
if they're both twins and they want to have sex with you, which
they're-
Blade Runner film would you have?
If one's Blade and one's Blade Runner, which one's Blade?
Definitely a new one because
What do you put in your?
It takes the
Which
music
one, the
from the
Marvel
old one as well, which makes it
Yeah.
even better.
What's that?
It takes
There's
the
some-
music from the first film. into the
Music
second.
is a big deal to you in films, isn't it?
is.
There's some really
It's-
cool
Yeah, I think
cinematic
it's
shots in the old
Music's
one.
really important in films, I think.
There's some really cool cinematic shots in the old one. Like, do you
Yeah.
know when it's like when Harrison Ford's taking that sip of the
Whiskey.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
can see the blood from his mouth going.
Yeah.
But it's shots like that that are just so good, isn't it?
Such a
Well,
good
damn,
film.
I can't
Memory. Yeah, it's about vampires.
Cool.
Harrison Ford and vampires.
But we can make a new one.
Indie.
We'll call it Blade-ish Runner.
Call it Blade Runner. Just have Pistorius in it. He's a
I have
vampire.
the stories in it. You can't keep it short as the gun again.
replicate him. That's how we bring it all together.
What we could do is we could move town to town and give him a brain tumor. So he could be, mate, we could create the perfect super.
But he has a brain tumour, so he can only talk by blinking. SOS, back to Marina Joyce, we're done. Get me out of
The
here.
whole film. Instead of Taken, he has to find his daughter, who's Marina Joyce.
Who is Investment
But
Group?
how many people can we offend with this?